Day 23. So how was your advent calendar today?
Pretty snazzy.
Nice. What'd you have?
A sleigh and a reindeer.
Built it in a bag.
Hashtag bag build.
Hashtag bag builders. How'd that was like a cool looking thing. How'd it go building it? It was fun?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that was like a really cool build. I like the reindeer and stuff. It was cool. And then for me, I had Darth Vader's castle and his TIE advanced ship. So, and it was like a little nano build, very small. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun to build, a little challenging in the bag, but not too bad. It was a lot of fun. And we're a little distracted today. So, okay. I probably did a theater faux pas. Basically, last day of Vlogmas, we're going to do a performance with Sammy and do some dog dancing. And we have some other fun surprises in store for everyone. So this morning, I walked Sammy this morning, everything was fine. But then later in the morning, he just started limping out of nowhere. And this happens every once in a while with Sammy. Sammy's 7 years old, and so that is an older dog. Sammy gets mistaken for a puppy a lot because of his energy and how crazy he can be. So this happens every once in a while where he'll sort of like tweak something or something like that. So we're not going to be doing the dog dancing. I'm sure he's going to be fine in the next day or two, and he'll probably be up for it, but we're not up for it. So we want to make sure that he rests. So right now he's actually just on the bed over here, kind of hanging out. And I gave him some joint medicine and or medicine for his joints. It happens to have hemp in it. So we just say that he kind of goes on a little journey. He just really vibes. What isn't that what the kids say? He's vibing it.
I guess.
So he's vibing it. And yeah, so right now he's just in the part of his journey where he's just kind of looking off and he's starting to become alert of things, but then he'll just really like stare into something. Like he's just kind of like staring off into something. And he's been doing it for like 2 minutes. No idea what he's looking at.
He's doing it right now.
Yeah, he's doing it right now. So anyways, that's what's going on with Sammy. It is the 23rd day of Vlogmas. It also is the 23rd day of December, and that means it is Festivus. So I went on the WikiHow for how to celebrate Festivus. And if you're not familiar, it has origins from the TV show Seinfeld. Do you have any history with Festivus? Are you familiar with it at all?
I guess.
Okay. How are you familiar with it?
You made me watch the episode.
Well, one time I think we were like briefly talking about Festivus, and you're like, "Oh, what's Festivus?" And so I just showed you the episode of Seinfeld.
Just like giving me a brief overview.
Well, I hadn't watched that episode in years, and I didn't realize it really it's a very bit part of that episode is about Festivus, and yeah, you probably didn't need to watch all of it, and I can't imagine you're a Seinfeld fan, which is totally cool. That's fine. But yeah, and then didn't you say that they've talked about it at school before or something?
Yeah, one time they were talking about it at science class. But I check the national holidays every day, so I already knew that Festivus had passed, and it was like at least 2 months later, and they were talking about Festivus. I don't know how it was related to science at all, but the teacher brought it up, and she's like, "Oh, it's Festivus." And I was like, "It's not Festivus, though."
Yeah, everybody knows what Festivus is.
Well, no one in the class knew what Festivus was, so it was fine.
A bunch of like younger kids.
Because she asked and no one raised their hand or anything, so
of course.
It was whatever. That I knew.
You knew, and you knew it was not Festivus. So, I read the article on WikiHow, and it told me how to celebrate Festivus, and it also gave me some history. So Festivus is actually a real thing. One of the writers of Seinfeld, his dad came up with Festivus, and some of the things that were used in that episode, this guy, like his dad actually did. And so one of the things about Festivus is the guy's name is Dan O'Keefe, and so Dan O'Keefe, he never knew when Festivus was going to be. Like his dad would just spring it upon him, like, "Hey, it's Festivus today." So, but they had the slogan of, Festivus for the rest of us and all that. So on the episode on the show, they use a Festivus pole. It's just a metal pole instead of like a tree or a menorah. In the actual Festivus, they use a clock and a bag, or a clock in a bag. It kind of would change sometimes. What did you think about the tree that were the
Lame.
You really wanted to decorate it?
Boring. It's so boring. Looks like garbage.
You can decorate it.
No,
it's fine.
It's hurting the culture.
I mean, it is Festivus faux pas if you decorate the Festivus pole, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to be comfortable.
I'll just decorate one of your cardboard trees. I want that pole up.
So then another thing is you have meatloaf. Now in the real Festivus, they would have turkey and mashed potatoes. On the show, they had meatloaf on a bed of lettuce. So I got some. I don't really make meatloaf. I don't really eat meatloaf much. So I just got like a bagged thing. I tried to see if like at the grocery store they had like a pre-made meatloaf type thing like that I could just put in the oven. They didn't have like a traditional one. They had one that was in a bell pepper, and then they had one that was made out of ground chicken. So I was like, wow, that's kind of not exactly traditional. So I went with, this prepackaged thing, and it's microwavable. What did you think?
Not good.
You did not like the meatloaf because you've never really had meatloaf before, right?
Correct.
Was there anything in specific you didn't like about it, or?
I put it in my mouth, and then I was like, "That's wrong."
Because it's essentially it is a meatball, essentially.
That's weird, though.
Yeah, I agree. Weird. Yeah, and actually, this one, like, it wasn't too bad, all things considered, that you just put it in the microwave for 4 minutes and boom, you have a meatloaf. But certainly wasn't the best. But it wasn't, for what it wasn't terrible, in my opinion. Now, another thing of Festivus is airing of grievances. So, and this actually happened in the real Festivus, and they would do it like in a tape recorder, and they still have the tapes. But do you have any grievances that you would like to air?
I have a lot of grievances, specifically pertaining to you. You're having to celebrate Festivus, you're having to set up this pole real lame, and you're like, oh, you can decorate it, but like, there are haters in this house, and that hater is you. Causing issues.
I said you could decorate it. I said you could decorate it.
I don't know why we can't just put up one of your cardboard trees. Have a normal, just a good old fashioned Christmas.
Well, it's Festivus.
Solstice.
It's Festivus.
Didn't celebrate winter solstice. You're like, oh, it's on a Monday. Like, come on.
It was a weird day to have to do stuff. I mean, I've been busy with Vlogmas, and it's hard to plan these things, So, anyways, that's what happened. So, okay, so do you have any other grievances?
I have a lot of grievances, but then the vlog would end up being very long, so I think we just keep it at that.
Okay, fair enough. I will not air any grievances. I'm fine. So, and then the other part of Festivus is the feats of strength. And this was a real thing. And basically, the dad would have the brothers wrestle each other. So, I was going to challenge Sammy to feats of strength. I will not now because, he's not feeling well today. Now, in the WikiHow, it talks about, like, hey, if you're going to do feats of strength, like, be careful if you're going to wrestle, be mindful, whatever. And it also offers some alternatives. So one of the things is you can like thumb wrestle. Something like that. Would you like to thumb wrestle?
No.
Okay.
Feats of strength.
Feats of strength. So that's Festivus. Recommend.
No.
But so this is probably how the real guy like felt like with Festivus, because he didn't like it, and he didn't want to write about it in Seinfeld. It just like it kind of came out like to other writers like that his family or his dad would celebrate this, and he didn't even want to talk about it. He was like, guys, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. So now you've experienced what this guy has experienced.
Not as bad though. Didn't have to wrestle anyone.
That's true. Bye. End of vlog.